Sexy, she is. Pleasant to the vibratory transmitting. And sexy imply that she is sexy. Refinement. Very intoxicating and compelling to engage conversation or just to be together. It's the Northwest goddess presented here in America. And beauty of the heart, gorgeous of the spirits, the physique, and the sexy, appealing that creation through ways of movements, appealing, pleasant to the eyes, that it has been created through a lot of time and effort of putting in to make her stand out, and dressing that is very compelling. Once again, the sexy evaporating the still of that whatever it is you see that is not pleasant. It's become beautified, blossoming, intoxicating ejaculation, exclaiming that we have the gratitude for the universal love. And it's the kind of feeling that when we see that dress to kill, dress to kill, that dress, something that is to die for, and at all times, and as always, we have seen something like that, and wow, it's really can't imagine. But here we are, sometimes experience not just ourselves but other people to do things that they probably wouldn't even think they would do for another. And in other words, whenever, wherever we go, we see the sacrifices that we put ourselves for another, unconditional, volitional love. Because when I see it, and when I see another person, and I kind of see myself doing the same thing as they are doing in that present content, in that atmosphere, in that magnitude, in the universe of the alertness and alarming at times when you see it, that's like wow. And it's a clear, concise of consciousness. When we see it, we sometimes it can be despicable, sometimes it can be something, if it's not good, of course it's despicable, but if it's something's great, consecration, that's a blessing in and of itself, and that is appreciation, and it's a reverence for the world, for the goddess. And the words could feel through the sacrums and the anatomic for the triangular bones within ourselves, the base of our throat, the thyroid, and also the pineal gland and the pituitary gland, that third eyes, all the way down to the spine, to our sacred sexuality, or the roof of our energy, the chakra, the sexual arousal, which in other words is tantra, that tell us to seat that seedling of the kundalini, that experience the blissfulness when we come in communion with one another, the arousal of our erections and ejaculations. And through tantrics is the practice to experience that as well. But it's not much of kundalini, that experience with oneself, that rise to the spine and explode in our mind and just awaken in the sleep of ignorance, and we are able to enjoy ourselves, and also we can spiritually enjoy one another, sentient being as well too. And it happened then, it's happened now, it can happen again. As a human species, animals alike, with the mind, the plant, and all that is in this world, that is especially that is compounding and is affecting and reflects within ourselves, seeing as a mirror, like wow, she, wow, gorgeous, wow, me, handsome, wow, together, wow. It's the sacred sexuality that we perceive. And we can see that in multiple partners as well too, with the ladies. And that's just something that we could choose and have a choice to have with different sexual partner, or it can be just one would have some meaningful relations, or it could be dysfunctional with multiple, and that's the ego of striving for that instant gratification. It's not logical, or is it? The mind could play some tricks within us, but we are more when we can extend ourselves and see things intuitively, and when we take the direct initiative in the preliminary of ourselves, the awareness, seeing that our youth and now are not the same, we are not one and the same, and the patterns that got down so we can lift ourselves up, because we know we're building it up. Sometimes we just break it back down. We're running through everything around and around. And that's why when we say, I see you around, so we in terms of I see you around, I will see you around when we come back around again. So that's the cycle of things. But this times we will meet as we synchronize. So first, we like to understand and comprehend the beautiful spirits, the beautiful heart, the sacred sexuality, implying that it is congruent to our self, the awareness, and it is correspond to that sexual appealing sexual inceptions of our life, of our wellness, our beings, our needs being met, and that is without the sexual act. None of us can actually live in this world as well. But we have to coexist in this matrix at last, and learn ways to control self-discipline, the incarnation of our body explorations, and as the demonstrations, as you can see, the sacred sexuality acknowledge that we have felt and we sexual transmutation in ourself, and realize and release in ways that the energy can be transmitted and originated from the source, and the same source is who we are, with peace of mind and love of heart, right? That's the expressions of the peaceful warrior. In time we see, we like, oh my goodness, wow. We get the looks, but a glimpse at times, and it's like, wow, that's wonderful. That is very transcending. That's very unique, peculiar, particular. In different culture, we see what is sexy and what is glamorous, what is not beauty. But without the heart of the beauty and the gorgeous spirits, it's nothing. That's why sex is a sacred thing, that it's become a role of bonding together, interlacing a finger together, concentration and the unification and the unison and satisfying of the sexual arousal and the sexy she is in exchange for the natural of our ways, and to mitigate from the debilitating of this things that is putting us down, and it's sometimes all around the town. And how can we intensify the bonding? And because sex, we know that can take us places where we say, oh my God, right? Oh God, she say. So we're carefully keep our heart open now as much as possible, and not close it, because we want to experience life with peace of mind and love of heart. And that's the way that it should be. And it's not always easy, because the energies that has been constricted and restricted and contracted, and now has been retract and open up with the open hand, the tantric, the attitude of gratitude, the slowing down, the way we can want her to slow down, because we do want to get to know her, because we always feel rush, and that's giving us that rushness. It's hard for us to catch, it's just a glimpse only sometimes. The sensory perceptions is seeing that if we tend to hide our feeling because we don't want to be hurt or judging, but we need to let go of that as well too. And that's also including blame, that we shouldn't blame for our circumstances, because that's what teaches who we are and what we can become better. Because the relationship that's not serving you, it makes you who you are, and it's breaking you. We need to mitigate it and savor the present moment, like here in the moment time, where we can utilize our past experience so we can become better sentient beings. So that's being said, peaceful warrior, becoming supportive, becoming the tools to utilize for my heart spirits to alleviate pain and suffering, and intimate with the relationship with ourselves, so we can have that sexual relationship with you, beautiful spirit, gorgeous lady. Peace of mind and love of heart. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Peace.